What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another Is It Good review. I'm Brian Daniels, back once again, and thanks to Activision for providing me a review copy of their latest installment in the Call of Duty franchise and their sixth installment in the Black Ops series, Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. And you know what? I have to say that I'm super impressed by these games and just how they've built upon each other. And sometimes some people have given them criticism, it's more of the same. And yeah, it has been at times, but I will tell you this particular Call of Duty is it exceeded my expectations for a Call of Duty game. I will say more so in the campaign, rather than the multiplayer, which I know the multiplayer is getting so much crap right now for certain reasons. But I'm gonna split this review up. First, we're gonna talk about the campaign. There's just so much here to talk about in this game. I want to talk about the campaign. So I'm showing you guys obviously here in real time the menus. I like to do that. That's how I do these reviews. So for those of you who are probably wondering why you're seeing all these menus, that's just because that's how I do these reviews. It's just how they're done. I like to show people what they can expect when they boot up the game, when they get into the menus, because you just don't see that with a lot of reviews. They kind of just go right into the gameplay and they skip all this stuff. So the campaign is set in the early 1980s, during the Cold War with President Ronald Reagan, which is weird because he's in the game, but it makes sense historically, right? It's kind of odd to see a digitized version of Ronald Reagan here, but he looks good in the game. I mean, he looks great in the game. But you play as Bell, and that's your operative name. And right off the bat, when you get into the game and the story, it's really does some really interesting things. First off, there's a couple decisions you have to make at the beginning of the game. I'm not going to give any spoilers here in this review because I want you to go into this not really knowing specific details. I don't like games being ruined for me, so I'm not going to ruin games for you. But your goal is you work with a CIA officer named Russell Adler, who, oddly enough, looks like Patrick Swayze a little bit. It's kind of weird, but you work with him and a few other operatives who are trying to go after somebody named Perseus. This is a guy named Perseus. He's apparently a Soviet spy who is trying to basically give power to the Soviet Union. Okay, now for those who are not aware of the Cold War history, it was called a Cold War because there really wasn't a lot of it wasn't really any big battles or anything like you saw in the Vietnam War or say in the World War I and II. This was more of what they call a silent war because there really wasn't any communication between Russia and the United States. So this had to do with missiles and things of that nature in Cuba, which is later you'll see that later in the game in Cuba. There is some decisions you have to make, a couple decisions of which can change the story. There's even a mission that offers various branching paths that you can take. Once again, I'm not going to give you details to spoil the story because I will say this is probably my favorite story of to date in a Call of Duty campaign. Of all the Call of Duty campaigns I've played, and I have played every single Call of Duty campaign that they've came out with, and there's been I think 16 of these games. Believe it or not, it's kind of crazy. There's been that many Call of Duty games. However, graphics look great. This is being played on an Xbox One X. I unfortunately don't have access to to current generation hardware, but the game runs and plays very smoothly as one would expect from a Call of Duty game. The campaign, I can't say enough of it. There is, you'll see here later, there's a safe house, which is essentially your base of operations where you'll choose missions and you'll make choices. They did add some, tying back to the different gameplay choices they decided to do for this game. they did decide to give you some dialogue choices, which I thought was really interesting. I will say that some of the dialogue choices can change the dialogue, but after playing a couple missions over, it didn't really feel like it was that much of a difference. But as I said before, there are some missions in this game that do, there in particular that does give you various branching paths on how you want to play it, which I thought was pretty interesting, pretty funny in a way. The characters in this game, you get to know them, you get that bond with them. There's even a mission which I thought was very different. There actually is a couple missions where you have choice. One mission in particular has you kind of using some stealth, and where you're in a particular area that's full of enemies. I'm not going to say where. But that mission was really fun because you have a map and it gives you choices and it tells you what you can do to proceed. And you can actually put a marker on where you want to go. It's very different for a campaign, and I don't know. It's just it was refreshing to not just play something real linear and you going from one path to the other. There are some missions in this game that are like that, where you just you do just go from one path to the other. I will say what was really frustrating about the game is what you just saw there was essentially the if you accidentally shoot even just one time one of your allies, it restarts your checkpoint. It says friendly fire will not be tolerated. I mean, I get that maybe if you shoot them like 3 or 4 times, but so you got to be careful when playing because the AI, granted the AI is pretty decent in this game, they'll get in front of you while you're shooting, and if you're shooting like say an assault rifle, and you're trying to mow down like a group of 5 to 10 enemies, and they get in your path, and you accidentally shoot your AI partner. You'll restart the checkpoint, and it's very annoying. This happened to me probably about 4 or 5 times throughout the course of the campaign. But I did enjoy the campaign. I did finish the campaign. This was one that I wanted to make sure I finished before I reviewed it. But the campaign, I would say, probably will take you about 6 to 8 hours to complete. It just kind of depends on what you want to do, because there are, for the first time in a campaign that I've ever played for Call of Duty, side missions. There's side quests, and you're gonna see here. We're gonna divert from actually playing in the game itself to we're gonna go to here the safe house, and this is your safe house. You'll be able to chat with Adler, Park, Sims, the other characters, Hudson, which is great because actually. Those familiar with the Black Ops series, Alex, Mason, and Woods are back in this game. There's Hudson there. They're all from that series. This is actually a prequel, by the way, to, I believe, the first game. So there's that. But there are side quests in the game. There's an evidence board you go to, and there's side quests that you can complete. And some of these side quests have you trying to figure out who some of these spies are. And you have to kind of obtain evidence in missions to be able to target who you think the spy is. And as you can see here, there's the evidence board. So you can definitely tell I'm much further in the game. But in the middle is Perseus there. That's who you're going after. This is one of the operations that's kind of a side quest where you have to review evidence and kind of figure out who the spies are, essentially. And you have to make sure you pick the right 3. Otherwise, you fail. You could potentially end up killing the wrong person. So I liked that, that they made the campaign a lot more in depth. And I've never really, you kind of come to accept that when you play a Call of Duty campaign, you're gonna get that kind of like that Michael Bay experience, explosions and things like that. You're gonna have that action military type movie. For those who like that sort of thing, I love those kind of movies myself. But I've always felt like there could be something more, and I know a lot of people who play these games also felt the same way. They did something different in Infinite Warfare. You had the global table where you had to do all these different missions and stuff, which I liked. Here, it's a little bit of the same, kind of similar in that aspect, where you have, different side quests. As you see there, you can review suspects. You have to put together the evidence. So, for instance, I don't think I have all the evidence here to give me a clear target. So you do have that. You have to collect the evidence to make sure you are able to pinpoint who the suspects are. So it does give you some replayability. So if you want to just go through the missions and not worry about having to find the things, you could do that. But I would recommend, if you want a better, more in-depth experience in this Call of Duty, I would highly recommend going ahead and getting all the evidence and collecting all the pieces of the puzzle, because that way you get the entire story on your first playthrough, and you do get that overall sense of completion. For those of you who are completionists that like to do that sort of thing, you'll be able to do that as well. But there's also a few other hidden things to unlock, which I think are really cool. I won't give those away, which are ties to Activision's history. Let's put it that way. Some really cool things you can do and experience in the game, in particular in the safe house. But there's several missions in the game. There are some missions that require choice, and there's two missions in particular, like I said, that you can play through more than once. And they're very well done. But for those looking for a different Call of Duty campaign experience, you're not going to be disappointed here with the Cold War campaign. And in my opinion, this is really what makes this game different from all of the other Call of Duties that come before it, especially the games in the Black Ops series. It makes them very different. As you can see here, I'm trying to solve this puzzle, trying to get this code for this to decrypt this floppy disk. So I'm here trying to figure out how to do that. And what's great too is I did find out that these puzzles are unique to the person playing the game. You're not gonna. I don't think no two people are gonna get the same puzzle, which makes it harder for those of you who want to go online and look up how to how to beat the puzzle. You won't necessarily have to know the exact answer, but I think it is kind of the same type of solution. So there's that. But overall, I was extremely pleased with this campaign, and it's absolutely good. It's not just good; it's great. It's a step up above the others, and I hope that whatever the new Call of Duty game that comes out next year, I hope it builds upon this. And I want to say Treyarch and Raven Software did a very great job with putting together this campaign. So now it's time to talk about the other half of this game, which is the multiplayer. And so here we are in the multiplayer. The screens are going to look pretty familiar to you. They, there's new maps this time around. There's several different maps. A lot of people don't like the maps. I actually, you know what? After having played probably every single Call of Duty... I have played every single Call of Duty. But having really not got into the multiplayer until Modern Warfare 2, I gotta admit, a lot of people don't like these maps. I like these maps. I like how they're laid out. I like the lanes. Some of them have those traditional three-lane maps, like Satellite, for instance, where you're out in the desert. You have 3 lanes, middle, and the sides where you go around. I really like that. I like Crossroad Strike. That's a really fun one too. That's a snowy area in a military base. I really dig that. There's a lot of really good maps. I like Armada. That's a really great one too. That's on a boat. That's on a ship. But they did make some changes to this multiplayer. And I'll tell you what those are. First, they added skill-based matchmaking, and this is the one thing that a lot of people don't like. So for those who don't know what SBMM is, or skill-based matchmaking, it's basically making the games more competitive and matching you up with people of similar skill. Some people really like this, myself included. I like this. A lot of people do not like this because it makes it makes the matches sweaty. If you don't know what that means, that's a game term where people essentially feel like that every single game is one they have to be competitive in, and a lot of people, such as pro players, don't necessarily like that every single game has to be competitive. They want to be able to play casually. They want to have some games where they don't feel like they have to try as hard every single time. I myself, I'm a competitive person, so I like that competitive nature. Plus, you don't have to run the risk so much of getting owned by people that are 20, 30 levels higher than you every single time. So, me personally, I feel like this game is more inclusive to everyone versus games before where it was just random matchmaking. Sometimes you'd have loaded teams, and then you'd have teams that were so loaded they were playing against teams that were just real low. So it didn't balance out those games. And like, there are pro players out there that are upset, and some pro players are like, I don't even have a 2 I can't even get a 2.0 KD ratio, kill death ratio. And I'm looking at it like, just get good. I mean, if you guys are pro, then you should not have this much of a problem. But skill-based matchmaking is in this game. I myself, you probably don't like me saying this, I like it. I think it brings back a competitive nature to Call of Duty that we haven't seen. You know, a lot of people like Call of Duty because of its arcade style. It's not like Battlefield, where Battlefield's more simulation, not so much arcade. Call of Duty has always been known as more of an arcade multiplayer feel to it. But me, I get competitive. People watch me play Call of Duty, they see me, they know I'm competitive in this game. They know I like to try to hunt people down and kill them, and I expect that in return. And with this Call of Duty game, that is what I'm actually getting. And you know what? I don't care what anybody says. I like it. I like that competitive nature of Call of Duty. I feel like multiplayer games should be competitive. Now, yes, I can also understand the flip side of I don't want every single game to feel like I'm playing, in a tournament. I get that. But, I mean, I don't know. Maybe there needs to be a playlist of a casual playlist where there is no skill-based matchmaking. Maybe they'll do that, and I'm all for that. I know they want everybody to be happy, but let's face it, you're not going to be able to please everybody. That's just life, right? You can't please everybody in games. So I feel like maybe Activision, Treyarch, and Raven Software can maybe come up with some sort of compromise where we can have maybe we can have a playlist that is essentially a non-SBMM playlist, so people that don't want to feel like they have to try real hard every game can get in there. But I have noticed that I'm actually playing better in this Call than I did in other Call of Duties because the games feel more balanced and they feel just a lot different, and I like it. As far as the actual gameplay itself, well, they did make one change. I kind of like this. Some people don't like this also. Is score streaks, kill streaks. They did change it. So before on Modern Warfare, there was a perk, and I forget the name of it off the top of my head, where you didn't lose your kill streaks upon death. And they went ahead and just said, well, screw it. We're just going to go ahead and make that part of the game. So now, even when you die, your kill streaks don't reset. Some people don't like that because, they want people to fucking earn it. I like that because it makes the game open for everyone. There's been games where I never felt like I'd ever get an attack chopper or an napalm strike because I had to go and get 10 kills in a row just to earn it. Well, I'm glad they didn't do that because now everybody gets to experience those kill streaks. Everybody gets to learn how those work. Everybody gets to learn how and when to use them because some people like to, they shoot them off too early, and you got to, it's all about timing. So I'm glad that they made this a little bit more inclusive. This definitely is a lot more of an inclusive Call of Duty multiplayer, and I'm all about games feeling more accessible to people. So for those of you who might be noobs and you don't know how the mechanics of some of these games work, this is going to be a perfect game for you to feel like you're going to have a little bit more of a competitive edge. while professional players probably won't like the gameplay changes made, you just gotta kind of evolve with it, you know? You just gotta evolve with the game. They're probably gonna make some changes, probably gonna nerf some guns. I believe they already have nerfed a few guns already. I will say my favorite gun is the MP5, the submachine gun. But, all in all, I'm pleased with it. Now, you're probably wondering why I'm not talking about zombies. Well, zombies, to me, I'd probably say ever since Black Ops, have just not felt the same. So, unfortunately, in this video, I'm not going to talk about zombies. It's just not a game mode that I personally don't care about. However, I will say that I'm sure it's a great mode. I've heard from people that they've really enjoyed the zombies in this game. I decided not to cover it because honestly, the gameplay that the game experience, the part of the game, God, I can't talk, that people are going to experience the most is going to be the campaign and the multiplayer, and those are the two biggest chunks of this game. Anyway, if you liked this review, let me know in the comment section below. If you didn't, that's fine too. Let me know. I do read the comments. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Give it a thumbs down if you didn't. Let me know if you liked. Let me know your opinions on this call, dude. Let me know what you think, how you feel about the multiplayer. And as always, please be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring that notification bell so you'll know all of our future uploads here. But thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, see you guys.